Hello, hello, and welcome to episode 193 of the Compassion and Cucumbers podcast. I'm Christine.
And I'm Sam.
Hey, here's what's coming up in today's show. This week's Y-Files tells us a strange tale of animal smuggling.
In our Noteworthy segment, in an unsurprising move, Republicans mount a fight against animal welfare laws in California.
And in our main topic, once again, California is now being sued by the Trump administration over egg prices and what they're calling unnecessary animal cruelty legislation. But before we get into all that, because that's a lot.
It is.
What have we been up to? Sam's been neck deep in some new student advising.
Oh, I have. Seeing all of these lovely new people who are going to be our students next semester. It's super fun.
Yeah.
It's a lot of talking.
It's a lot of talking.
It's a lot of talking. Poor Christine has been here with her noise-canceling headphones on.
Oh, it's fine.
While I'm doing my advising meetings from home.
Always go into another room, if
you
I
could.
want to.
Yeah, you could. But yeah, so she's heard the spiel.
Yeah, there's a bit of a spiel.
Many times.
Yeah, there's a bit of a spiel. But
yes.
Yeah, so, that's good, though. You're preparing the new crew. Mm-hmm. The new batch of students for, setting them up for
success, I hope.
Setting them up for success. At least setting them up so that they're not super nervous about starting in the fall.
Yeah. Most of them seem to be really excited.
Yeah.
A few have expressed nerves, which makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
It's an entirely new situation for them, new place, probably their first time away from home and having to be semi-independent.
It's a big life change.
It's a huge life change.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually really enjoy young people of this age. I find them a lot of fun.
Yeah. They're lucky to have you.
Well, thanks. That's really sweet.
Yeah. It's been hot.
Yeah, it has.
Really hot. Mm-hmm. Newsflash, it's summer.
It is. It most certainly is.
But, I hate to sound, trite, but it's the humidity, man.
The temperature is not the problem.
No, it's like currently 81 where we are, which is kind of low compared to, the areas surrounding us.
Yeah, Buffalo is definitely
Syracuse,
warmer than
everywhere around us is a lot hotter. We are lucky to be by Lake Erie, and that kind of keeps the temperature at a minimum. But unfortunately, the humidity is making it feel like you walk outside and there's just this wall of moist heat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry about the word moist. I know that sometimes triggers people. I'll try to keep that to a minimum.
Thank you. Much appreciated.
Hey, we're gearing up for some veg fests that are coming up.
We sure are. I mean, it's really interesting that here we are kind of getting to the end of the summer months.
Yeah, it's different.
It is. It's very different. And so we're getting to the end of the summer months and just gearing up for in-person events.
Yeah.
Normally we've done a few. By now. And
no, don't get us wrong. There are, and I know I said I was going to compile a list of veg fests. Maybe I'll have that for next year.
That would be good. That'd be great,
But
actually.
I know there's been tons of veg fests in other parts of the country.
Yes.
But we don't travel that far.
No.
We try to keep it more local.
Yeah.
And, within a day's drive.
Yes.
Kind of situation. And so, it is weird that all of our veg fests are ending up later in the season this year. So.
Yeah, and so we're actually kicking off our Veg Fest season with the Rochester Veg Fest on August 24th.
Yeah.
Which we are so looking forward to.
Yeah, Sunday, August 24th. It runs from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and it's being held at a park called Parcel 5. It's right in downtown Rochester.
Is that the same place that they held it last year?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it was really, really great.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that.
We are. And then after that, just to give you an FYI, our next fest will be the Syracuse Veg Fest on September 21st.
Yep.
Followed by the Cleveland Veg Fest.
Right.
On October 4th.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll wrap it all up with the Syracuse Vegtoberfest.
Yes.
Which is a brand new event.
Yeah.
And that will be happening on October 11th.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, because that Vegtoberfest is being held in a place that's kind of like a beer garden. I think that'll be so fun.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to that. And I think it will be nice that a lot of the Veg Fests that we're tabling at this year are going to be taking place when the weather's a little cooler.
I'm hoping so anyway. That August 24th in Rochester, that could be a scorcher.
It could be. You never know. I have seen forecasts, though, that are saying the end of August is supposed to be unseasonably cool.
Ooh.
So we'll see
hopeful.
if they know what they're talking about.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I am kind of excited that we're looking at kind of, more autumnal fests as opposed to, middle of summer.
Yeah. And then I'm not exactly sure of the date, but I will bet that the Mockingbird Farms Animal Sanctuary will be also holding their Fall on the Farm. And that's usually also in October.
Yes.
I don't have a definitive date on that yet.
Right.
So, but we'll let you know.
We sure will.
Once we do. Because I'm sure we'll be tabling at that also.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wouldn't miss it.
Yeah. Hey, we have a recipe this week.
We do.
I don't know what happened.
Well, it's one of your very own recipes.
It is one of our
It's not a cookbook challenge.
It is not.
One of Christine's original recipes.
Yeah, so here is this week's recipe from our vegan kitchen. So this week's recipe is my quinoa kale salad.
This is a good one.
I think everybody should have a good quinoa salad under their belt.
Oh, absolutely.
Especially for this time of year.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, it's great for when you don't want to cook, but you want something hearty and really flavorful.
And nutritious.
Yeah, I put chickpeas and you can put all kinds of beans and stuff. This is a kind of recipe that's like a base recipe. And then you can just add whatever you want to add into it. And, you can even change the flavor profile of it and stuff.
Yeah, it reminds me a little bit. I have a Southwest quinoa salad that I like to do, and it has a similar feel to it. It's really, really versatile. And, the way that I would do it with the Southwest is, of course, black beans and roasted corn.
Right.
And, peppers and onions and tomato and a little bit of green onion and definitely cilantro and that kind of a thing. And Christine's quinoa kale salad has a very different profile. It's a little bit more Mediterranean.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Mediterranean and Asian fusion.
Yeah.
So
it's really good.
Yeah. And if you want the recipe, I will be posting the recipe by the end of this week on our Patreon for our patrons and our community over there. If you want all the recipes that come out of our kitchen, they're all available on our Patreon. You just have to become a patron.
There you go.
And you have access to all those recipes.
And that's a patron at any level.
Any level. Yep.
Cool. But yeah, this was really nice. And not only did we have it as a standalone meal one evening, Christine also used it as a topper on a green salad.
Yes, it's good
as well.
It's a good add-on.
It really,
or you could
was.
even put it over some grilled tofu
for sure.
or something like that.
Yep.
It's really versatile. It works as a side, it works as a main, it works in so many different ways.
Yeah. So really fantastic and very summery.
Super summery.
And I have to say, I just love what happens to kale when you massage it with citrus.
Yeah, I massaged it with a little bit of salt, a little bit of lemon juice, and a little bit of olive oil, and it helps it break down so that it's not...
Didn't you say you put clementine juice in there as well?
I did.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, good choice.
Yeah, so it was kind of citrusy and sesame-y, and it's a good recipe.
It really is.
That I've come up with. Let's jump into this episode, shall we?
Absolutely.
All right. Here is this week's The Why Files.
And this week's Why Files looks into the strange case of the Volkswagen filled with toucans.
That's right. Carlos Abundez, 35, of San Ysidro, California, couldn't really explain to a U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service agent on June 25th how 14 keel-billed toucans got into the dashboard of his Volkswagen Pissat, the New York Times reported.
I mean, how do you explain? I mean, you know, we've heard of popes in a Volkswagen.
Yeah.
But seriously, toucans
14.
in a dashboard.
And toucans are very large.
They are.
So Customs and Border Protection officers were alerted to the strange cargo when one of their dogs picked up a scent. The threatened birds appeared to be sedated, and some of them were injured. Abundez said he had left his temporary home in Tijuana, Mexico, to get McDonald's in the U.S. He claimed his car had been parked and locked in his driveway overnight. On July 7th, he was charged with smuggling and illegal importation and was released on $10,000 bond. So it seems as though Mr. Abundez is saying somebody put 14 toucans into his car while he was getting McDonald's. Is that what's happening?
I'm sorry, that's just one of the most absurd sentences I've ever heard in my entire life.
Yeah.
Someone put 14 toucans in the dashboard of my Volkswagen. I have to say, I'm skeptical.
I'm completely skeptical. Yeah, which is why he was charged and will probably be found guilty of smuggling and illegal importation of those poor toucans. I don't have any information as far as what happened to the 14 keel-billed toucans. I'm assuming that they were probably taken into custody and brought to like an animal rehab facility.
Right. See, now, the way I'm reading this, though, is that his car was parked and locked in his driveway at his temporary home in Tijuana. Mm-hmm. And then he drove the car to get McDonald's in the U.S.
Exactly. He drove over the border to go to
McDonald's. First of all, I have to ask, why?
Well, I've been to Tijuana, and I don't remember seeing a McDonald's. So maybe there isn't a McDonald's in Tijuana, and maybe he lives in the part of Tijuana that's really close to the border. So people often go back and forth there.
Maybe, but I'm betting there's better food in Tijuana than McDonald's.
Yeah. His story doesn't really hold up.
It really doesn't. No. I just cannot imagine crossing an international border for McDonald's.
Yeah.
It just does not track for me.
Yeah, I think that Carlos probably should have come up with a better story in case he was found.
I'm thinking so,
out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and to act like you don't know how 14 toucans got into your car.
And my question here, of course, is what happened to the toucans? Well, were they rescued? Were they, hopefully taken out of the dashboard and to a location where they could be adequately cared for?
Yeah, that's what I said. I don't have any follow-up on this, and I'll keep looking, but I don't have a follow-up as to what happened to the toucans.
Okay.
But I am assuming that they were confiscated and brought to an animal rehab facility.
Oh, okay. I must have missed that while I was laughing. I apologize.
Sometimes she doesn't listen to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it works both ways.
I was going to say.
Works both ways. So, yeah, I feel bad for those 14 toucans because, like I said, toucans are they're very large birds. And a Volkswagen Pissat is a very small car.
It is a small car. It's just one step up from the Volkswagen Golf.
Yeah.
I had a Volkswagen Golf way back in the day. It was my first car back when I was 17. And I cannot imagine putting 14 of anything in that dashboard.
In the dashboard.
So, yeah. That's just crazy.
I'm assuming that Mr. Abundez had a buyer in the States.
Probably.
Probably an exotic animal dealer.
That seems likely.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And he was probably going to get a lot of money for those poor toucans.
Yeah.
So I'm glad they caught him. I'm glad those dogs sniffed him out.
Yep, me too. Yeah. And I just hope that the toucans are getting the medical attention that they need.
Yeah, I hope so too. But yeah, that's a weird one.
Yeah, very strange.
Yeah.
Hence its placement in the Y files.
In the Y files.
Yeah.
Yes. That brings us to our Noteworthy segment.
Yep. This is coming from rollcall.com. Republicans ready an assault on California animal welfare law.
Is there anything Republicans aren't mounting assaults against?
It seems not.
Any good thing that has been done in the past?
It seems like they're coming after all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Proposition 12 and federal efforts to counter it have sparked strong emotions on both sides of the issue. The Save Our Bacon battle of 2025 has begun in earnest. The pork industry and its allies inside and outside the Beltway on Wednesday launched the latest round in its years-long fight against a 2018 California law setting animal welfare standards, with a multi-pronged effort focused on upcoming Farm Bill negotiations this fall. Ahead of a House Agriculture Committee hearing on California's Proposition 12, with a stacked lineup of industry witnesses, Republicans made public a letter from Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins, arguing that the law has led to, quote, partial segmentation in the national pork market, resulting in higher consumer prices. At the same time, a group of 7 GOP governors wrote to lawmakers on Wednesday, urging them to limit the scope of California's law so it doesn't apply to pork sales outside of the state. The letter, led by Iowa Governor Kim Reynolds, came as Representative Ashley Hinson, Republican of Iowa, and other farm state colleagues prepared to introduce industry-backed legislation that they've dubbed the Save Our Bacon Act.
Yeah, that's pathetic that they're calling it the Save Our Bacon Act.
Indeed. The California law requires that pork products come from a pig born to a sow with room to turn around in her enclosure.
Yeah, that's the terrible law they're talking about.
Yeah.
Room to turn around. That's all.
That's right. They're making farrowing crates illegal, essentially.
Well, not even illegal, just bigger.
Okay. But I'm saying that the space that is traditionally allowed for farrowing crates has been...
Yeah, we talked about this on a previous episode a couple of years ago when somebody else brought up opposition to this law. And I believe that the law gave some absurd amount, like 6 extra inches on either side of those crates for the animal to turn around.
Right.
That's what they're fighting.
Yes. The law defines that as a 24 square foot space and calls anything less as keeping the animal in a cruel manner. It also sets standards for veal calves and egg-laying hens. The Golden State law and federal efforts to counter it have sparked strong emotions on both sides of the issue. The pork industry and its allies on and off Capitol Hill have launched a furious lobbying effort to narrow the applicability of California's statute so that it doesn't affect commerce in other states, while animal rights activists counter that California lawmakers had it right and that federal standards should be toughened. The Supreme Court in 2023 upheld Proposition 12, which took effect at the beginning of last year, against a legal challenge from the National Pork Producers Council. But at the same time, the court opened the door to congressional action to settle the matter via legislation. Wednesday's hearing was packed with interested observers who spilled into an overflow room, with the Capitol Police set up outside the room in case of unruly protesters. Committee Republicans lined up 6 panelists to testify on the issue, including 2 representing the National Pork Producers Council. Others included Matt Scheutman, a farmer and board member of the Iowa Farm Bureau, Travis Cushman, American Farm Bureau Federation Deputy General Counsel, Lily Roja, Latino Restaurant Association Executive Director, and Tiffany Dowell-Lashmet, a Texas A&M professor and specialist in agricultural law. Lashmet's was the only voice that wasn't aligned against Proposition 12, but she characterized herself as an unbiased analyst, not in favor of one position or the other. Representative Jim McGovern, Democrat of Massachusetts, took aim at Republicans for stacking the witness panel. He said, "This hearing will not get them closer to overturning Proposition 12, and that's because this hearing is a potential misrepresentation of reality. The reality is that Prop 12 took effect at the beginning of last year, and the fear-mongering is falling flat," McGovern said. There are thousands of farmers who vocally support Proposition 12, but Republicans have not given them an opportunity to speak today. McGovern criticized large pork producers for continuing to push back against the law after the Supreme Court ruling. They lost. And now, instead of moving on, as so many family farmers have done, by the way, they've come to Republicans for a legislative bailout, McGovern said, submitting 150 letters for the record in support of the California statute. The American Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals tried some counter-programming of its own during the hearing, releasing testimonials from family farmers across the country who say they employ more humane production processes. For example, Anna Pessick, owner of Over the Moon Farm in Coggan, Iowa, said overturning Prop 12 would only help the big industrial pork producers while hurting farmers who are trying to do better by their animals, their land, and their communities. Rollins' letter, dated July 21st and made public before Wednesday's hearing, was in response to an earlier request for information from House Agriculture Chairman Glenn G.T. Thompson, Republican of Pennsylvania. Since its implementation, stakeholders in the pork industry, particularly small and mid-sized producers, have expressed concerns about market fragmentation, increased production costs, and diminished competitiveness, Thompson wrote in his request. Rollins responded that Proposition 12 has impacted interstate commerce, pointing to industry data that shows about 35% of federally inspected slaughterhouses have systems in place that are compliant with the law. She said producers regularly segregate compliant and non-compliant pork through dedicated supply chains. Economic Research Service modeling suggests that such segmentation may increase transition and distribution costs by 7 to 11 cents per pound on compliant pork, compounding inflationary pressure, the letter states. It also said the Agriculture Department ERS found that retail pork prices in the state increased by 18.7% year over year, compared with a nationwide increase of 6.3%. Pork loin prices increased from $4.12 per pound in December 2023 to $4.89 per pound in June 2025. Rollins added that a May USDA consumer affordability study found that low-income California households reduced pork purchases by 22%.
Yay! That's a good thing in my book.
I agree completely. The letter also broke down the impact on pork producers. April ERS data estimated that approximately 27% of U.S. producers have made or are making investments to comply with the law, which can cost between $3,500 and $4,500 per sow. Compliance costs disproportionately affect small and mid-sized producers who face tighter margins and less access to capital, the letter stated. Rollins said that as of the first quarter of 2025, 12% of small pork producers who have fewer than 500 sows have exited the market or shifted production away from breeding, citing regulatory uncertainty and high transition costs.
It's completely opposite what they were saying earlier in this article, that the small and family producers were actually supportive of Proposition 12.
Well, I'm sure that there are small and mid-sized producers that support Proposition 12, and there are small and mid-sized producers who do not. I think we're seeing both sides of that.
I'm sure
coin.
there is, but this really is smacking of the federal government trying to hold the hand of the large producers.
Oh, I absolutely agree
in order
with that.
to maintain their donations.
Yes.
Yeah.
The large producers don't get concerned or cry when the small producers leave the market.
No.
They go, woohoo, more for us.
Right. A bigger share for them.
Yes, exactly.
Sure.
Meanwhile, Reynolds and the other GOP governors representing Oklahoma, Nebraska, Indiana, Mississippi, Virginia, Missouri, and Nevada wrote that legislation was necessary to clarify that one state cannot regulate livestock production beyond its own borders. We support the right of individuals to choose which animal products they purchase and consume. We also support the right of each state to lawfully regulate livestock production within their own borders, the governors wrote. But when one state decides to regulate another, federal legislation is appropriate and necessary.
Well, one state isn't really trying to regulate another state. All they're saying is that if you don't follow the guidelines of Prop 12, you can't sell your product within our borders.
That's correct.
So sell someplace else.
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah.
House Republicans included language in the draft farm bill they released in the last Congress that would have broadly preempted state regulation of farm and agribusiness production, including livestock, dairy, fish, and any processed or manufactured products. Hinson's latest version, introduced Wednesday with 18 GOP co-sponsors, would narrow applicability to domestic animals raised for human consumption or for dairy products. It would not apply to egg production or to the movement, harvesting, or further processing of covered livestock outside of the farm gate. The measure would, quote, provide clarity to national markets by ensuring producers only need to comply with standards in their own state or local government, according to Hinson's staff. Proposition 12 opponents are hoping to gain traction with their argument that it could become too costly for pork producers to comply, limiting the supply of or raising prices of one extremely popular consumer product nationwide. Her bill would block blue state bacon bans, Hinson said in a statement.
Blue state bacon bans. Yeah, this red state, blue state thing is getting really out of control.
Yes, phenomenally out of control.
The president of our country basically said that he's not our president if we live in a blue state, that he wants nothing to do with us.
Awesome.
Yeah. I mean, the feeling's mutual. But I don't think a president, in the history of presidents, no president has ever said that he is not the president of, any particular state in our union.
It just throws me back to one of my favorite episodes of The West Wing.
Yeah, which one?
Game On.
Oh, yeah.
Which is amazing.
Good one.
Yes, very good one. But at one point in that debate, the fantastic Martin Shane, as Jed Bartlett, says, I'm the president of all 50 states, not the president of the people who agree with me.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's as it should be.
Yeah, we currently have a president who is the president of people who agree with him.
That's right.
And only the people that agree with him.
That's right. But he's going to try to impose his authority on all of those who do not agree with him.
Yeah.
Yes. This legislation will stop out-of-touch activists who don't know the first thing about farming from dictating how Iowa farmers do their job, she added. There will be no bacon ban on my watch.
I think that's us. She's talking about us. We're the out-of-touch activists who don't know the first thing about farming. Us and anybody else who is against animal cruelty.
Yes.
In the farming industry. So, yeah, that's us.
That is us. And I'm proud to be one of those out-of-touch activists.
Yep.
I'm psyched about that.
Yeah.
The Agriculture Committee hearing may not have featured pro-Proposition 12 witnesses, but hog farmers with the Responsible Meat Coalition nonetheless made their presence known, donning bright yellow buttons saying, "Protect Prop 12 and American farmers." One of those hog farmers is Brent L. Hershey, owner of Hershey Ag, a 3,000 sow operation in Pennsylvania and Delaware. Hershey said his farm completed the transition to comply with Proposition 12 2 years ago. He said he came to realize that gestation crates, small, cramped metal stalls to house individual pregnant pigs, aren't a good system. You can't defend it. Hershey was disappointed that Wednesday's hearing lacked farmers voicing his perspective. He said that the changes to his farm increased long-term costs by 3%, and he was able to retrofit his facilities at less than $1,000 a sow, much lower than the USDA estimate. His prices went up after initial compliance with Proposition 12, but have since come down about 30%, Hershey said. Our sow longevity increased, he said, adding that about 6% of his sows die every year. It's all because of our system. The animals get to walk around. He said the Farm Bill provision to curtail states' ability to regulate animal welfare laws would result in devastation on all those producers, and it would take years to recover. The division over Proposition 12 has caused bad blood with the National Pork Producers Council, to which Hershey pays dues. They're ignoring 27% of the industry. They're ignoring us, Hershey said. I think it's wrong. You could call it a civil war in the pork business because we have this whole group saying, this is what we're going to do. And you've got the old establishment saying no.
Yeah, and I hope that farmers like Mr. Hershey consider maybe just getting out of the business because, you can't fight City Hall. You can't fight Capitol Hill in this situation.
Well, I mean, you can. You certainly can.
You can.
Will you win? That's a different conversation.
Yeah. But I think what this really for me is like, what's really happening a lot right now is the exact opposite of what the Trump administration campaigned on, which was states' rights.
Yes.
Giving it all back to the states.
That's right.
Giving power back to the states. And they've done nothing but take power away from the states.
Yes.
Like states can no longer make their own laws. Well, they can, but then the federal government turns around and
refuses to recognize
them or overturns them or gets them stuck in legislation forever and ever and ever. And all it is doing is costing the taxpayers, millions of dollars to try these cases. And while we don't want any pig to be in any cage or in any pork farm, I think that the farmers that are for Proposition 12 at least are heading in the right direction.
Yes.
At least they can admit that the gestation crates are wrong.
Yes.
Even if it's only appealing to their bottom line, at least they're standing up for it.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm with you. I would love to see the pork industry shut down completely.
Right.
That would be
It's the
delightful.
welfare versus liberation argument.
It is.
Yeah.
And so because liberation is going to take some serious time, let's at least afford these animals as much welfare as we possibly can. And so I don't really want to see farmers like Mr. Hershey leaving the industry because, again, that just signals to the big guys who aren't complying with any of this, who are sticking with gestation crates, who are cramming as many pigs in one place as they possibly can. It just tells them, great, more for us.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose if people are exiting the industry, it does kind of tell them that it's what they're doing is working.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so I guess we'll move on to our main topic. Because our main topic, it's in a similar vein. It does take place also in California. Let's face it, a lot of what's going on right now is taking place in blue states because they're getting so much pushback.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so this article comes to us from the Los Angeles Daily News. So the headline reads, Trump administration sues California over egg prices and farm animal welfare laws. So here we go. The Trump administration is now blaming California for the price of eggs. DOJ lawsuit claims California has created unnecessary red tape in an overreach of state power. Accusing California of imposing unnecessary red tape on the production of eggs, the Trump administration is suing the state over animal cruelty laws it claims have driven up prices nationwide. That's right, California controls egg prices all over the country. This is completely untrue. And this is a quote. California has effectively prevented farmers across the country from using a number of agriculture production methods which were in widespread use and which helped keep eggs affordable, states the lawsuit filed Wednesday by the U.S. Department of Justice. The lawsuit, which also names Governor Gavin Newsom, Attorney General Rob Bonta, and other state officials, contends that a 1970 federal law regulating egg quality and packaging preempts state laws that seek to impose additional requirements on egg production. In particular, it targets 3 California laws that create welfare standards for farm animals and regulate egg production. Americans across the country have suffered the consequences of liberal policies causing massive inflation for everyday items like eggs, U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi said in a news release announcing the lawsuit. Under President Trump's leadership, we will use the full extent of federal law to ensure that the American families are free from oppressive regulatory burdens and restore American prosperity. My God. I hate these people.
You do realize, of course, the regulations that they're talking about are, again, going back to Prop 12. All they're saying, they are not saying that other states can't produce eggs in whatever manner they like.
No,
they're just saying you can't sell them in California.
Yeah, and this is what the Trump administration likes to call a witch hunt on the state of California and Governor Newsom.
But this one is an actual witch hunt.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
It's an actual witch hunt. Newsom's office did not respond to a request for comment. However, a response from his office posted on X, because that's where we do everything now, apparently, on Twitter X. On Twitter X, they said Trump's back to his favorite hobby, blaming California for literally everything. Pointing fingers won't change the fact that it is the president's economic policies that have been destructive, a spokesman for the California Attorney General's office wrote in a statement to this news organization. We'll see him in court. Recent high egg prices in the past year have largely been attributed to the bird flu.
Yes.
Which has devastated poultry flocks nationwide since the start of the outbreak in early 2022. As of this month, the highly contagious disease has infected nearly 175 million birds nationally, according to the data from the Department of Agriculture. The department requires culling flocks, killing infected birds, to prevent the spread, which has further contributed to the egg shortages across the country. High egg prices in the past year are attributable to one thing, continuing cases of highly pathogenic avian influenza, called bird flu, that occurred in rapid succession, the American Egg Board wrote in a statement to this news organization. This was true in California, where the loss of nearly 12 million egg-laying hens in late 2024 and into early 2025 devastated the state's egg flocks and depleted the available supply of California-compliant eggs. The board further stated that it is aware of the Trump administration's lawsuit against California and will closely monitor its progress. America's egg farmers recognize the continuing efforts of the administration to reduce regulatory burdens on U.S. agriculture, it stated. Man, they are kowtowing to big farms. They are just kowtowing to big farms.
Well, I have to give the American Egg Board just a tiny bit of props for a second.
Total props to the Egg
Because
Board.
at least they came forward and said the problem is not
regulation.
Yes. The problem is avian influenza.
It's the avian influenza.
I mean, think about that. 12 million egg-laying hens were culled in California alone.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, just the number of eggs that you're talking about.
That's a lot of lives lost.
It is a lot of
animal lives lost.
Yes.
Yeah. Trump officials also have acknowledged the role of the bird flu in raising egg prices. In a February op-ed in the Wall Street Journal, U.S. Secretary of Agriculture Brooke Rollins wrote that her plan to lower egg prices primarily involved addressing bird flu through contamination prevention, financial aid for farmers, and vaccines for chickens, in addition to other steps such as loosening egg production regulations.
Well, but hang on a second. Isn't the Trump administration anti-vax?
They are, except if you're a chicken, apparently.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You know, I'm confused.
Yeah, chickens apparently can get vaccines.
Yeah.
Humans cannot.
No, because that's absurd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of the federal government's messaging in recent months regarding falling egg prices appear at odds with its statement about inflated egg prices in the lawsuit. Over the past 5 months, White House news releases have emphasized declines in egg prices as a result of policies implemented since Trump's return to office. One highlighted A finding from the Consumer Price Index that egg prices in April saw the largest one-month drop in more than 4 decades. That report shows that the American people are experiencing real economic relief. Groceries, gas, and egg prices are down, while real wages are up. This is such a lie, White House spokesperson Kush Desai said in a May press release. How do these people live with themselves?
I'm actually amazed that you managed to get that out of your mouth while retaining some sense of,
composure?
Yes.
Yeah. California laws affecting egg production include Prop 12, voter initiative passed in 2018 that bans the sale of eggs produced by hens kept in extreme confinement. Pork industry groups challenged the law in federal court, arguing that states cannot impose requirements on out-of-state businesses in order for them to sell their products in the state. The Supreme Court upheld the law's constitutionality in a 2023 ruling. The other 2 measures mentioned in the lawsuit are Proposition 2, which prevents farmed animals from being tied up and unable to move for much of the day, and AB 1437, which makes it a crime to sell eggs in California that were not produced in accordance with the Prop 2 standards. So all they're saying is you can't tie a chicken up. You can't have the chicken tied up and unable to move for the majority of the day. This is what they're saying is causing egg prices to rise. Now, do you think that any egg producing facility is tying their chickens up? Prop 2 was passed in the 70s.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. Tying chickens up? Probably not. Are they putting them in cages that are far too small?
In battery cages?
Yes.
Yeah, well, not anymore. Not in California.
Not in California,
Yeah.
but I'm saying, are people in other states still using those methodologies?
They're
And
not
the
supposed
answer-
to be, but they are.
But the answer is probably yes.
Yeah.
And that's where they are, taking issue with Prop 12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just the amount of blatant lies that this administration spews on a daily basis is incredible to me.
It's astonishing.
It is. Who is their press secretary? I think I blocked her name.
Caroline Levitt.
Yeah. I don't know how she looks at herself in the
I don't
mirror.
either.
I don't know if you've noticed, but recently she doesn't always wear the cross because I think it burned her a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I think she got a little burn from that cross she was wearing because she just lies on the daily.
Yeah.
Just lies, lies, lies. And what are these people being promised? It's not their paycheck because these people don't make a ton of money. I mean, they make enough to live. They make a good salary.
Yes.
Okay. But they don't make a ton of money. It's not like they're making millions of dollars, at least on paper.
Right.
So what are these people getting? That's what I want to know. Either A, what are they getting? Or B, what are they hiding? What do they have on these people?
And I have a feeling that both of those questions need to be answered.
I think we talked about this in the past because it's the only explanation as to, other than the fact that these people are just pod people and have, no conscience whatsoever. They have no conscience.
Clearly.
At all. That they can just go out and talk to the American public and lie blatantly every day about what's going on in their administration. Mm-hmm. It's insanity. It's just utter insanity that someone could go on record as saying grocery prices are down, gas prices are down, egg prices are down, and wages are up. All 4 of those things are completely incorrect. It's insane. It's insane. And any American hearing that would go, what? Yeah. Where? Show me.
Yeah.
Prove it. Mm-hmm. Where's cite your sources? I don't understand where this information is coming from because I'm not making any more money than I was making before. And my groceries are still costing me more than they were before. Mm-hmm. It is insanity to me. And gas prices certainly have not come down.
No.
No,
definitely not.
You'll see from state to state, you'll see fluctuations.
There are definite variations, yeah.
But here it's still $3.40 a gallon. Across the border in Pennsylvania, I saw $3.70, I think, last time we were there.
Sounds right.
Yeah. And now, granted, we live close to the Seneca Nation.
Yes.
And they have gas stations where they can sell their gas untaxed. So it's like $2-something a gallon. So if we are in the Seneca Nation, we will fuel up.
Yes.
But that's, that is not that is not, doesn't tell what's going on in the rest of the country. And I know in California and places where gas is usually expensive, it's like 5 something a gallon.
Yeah.
So it's insanity to say that gas prices are down and egg prices are down. And you know what, people, you don't need eggs to live anyway. You want to save yourself some money, stop eating eggs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not only save yourself some money, but save, tremendous doses of cholesterol every day.
Yeah. Not to mention
the health benefits of not eating eggs.
A bunch of cruelty involved in producing eggs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Lots of things.
Yeah.
Save your money, save your health, save the chickens.
Yeah. So that's just the latest installment of Where the Hell Do We Live Now? That's what I like to call that.
Oh, is that the new segment? Where the hell do we live now? Okay. I'm there for it. That works.
When will we wake up from this fever dream that is the United States of America? Oh, and I have friends in Canada, and I was talking to somebody on Instagram the other day, and it's bad there too.
Yeah.
The new guy running the place there isn't all that he's cracked up to be. He's terrible too.
I mean, is any politician at that level all they're cracked up to be?
I don't know. I guess not.
I don't think so.
I mean, it's bad. What was that movie we watched the other day that was about the cover-up?
Oh, the torture report?
Yeah, the torture report about the cover-up that happened after 9/11 of them, imprisoning Muslims and torturing them.
Right. The detaining and interrogation program.
And, I mean, if you just look into history from the get-go, this country is founded on just terrorism.
Yes.
Racism, terrorism, slavery, and lies, and the thing is, this country is so young that I wonder how long it will take before we can put all that behind us and become better.
Well, I mean, you have to look at the countries in the world that are far older than we are. I mean, even if you go to probably our closest, European partner, the UK, they've got 1,000+ years on us. Yeah, easy.
And they were doing pretty well, but now they are also succumbing to this oligarchy.
Right,
this
because
world order.
Because it's cyclical.
Yeah.
It's there's no straight line. There's no finite pathway.
Yeah.
All of this stuff just repeats over and over and over again.
Why are we
different contexts?
Why are we so doomed to repeat things? It's just I don't know. Why are humans so stupid?
Because in most cases, it's the powerful who are determined to hold on to the status quo.
Yeah, and it's not even money. A lot of people say it's all their money. Billionaires just want more money. They don't. They have enough money now. What they want is power.
Yes.
Power over the people.
Yes.
And it's insidious. Mm-hmm. Like, why do they want this power? And I've said it before, but they just are all acting like a bunch of comic book villains, So
it's not a terrible analogy.
Yeah. Anyway, we have to keep fighting the good fight,
Always.
Find our Clark Kents and fight the good fight.
Well said.
Yeah. Let's move on to something happier.
Indeed.
It's time for our Assignment Restaurant SOS.
This week, we are absolutely exuberantly celebrating Buffalo's V-Spot.
Exuberantly?
Yes.
Indeed.
Because I am so excited about this. Now located inside the Vegan Center at 60 Broad Street in Tonawanda, New York. They are open Friday through Monday from 2 to 8 p.m., Sundays 1 to 6.
Buffalo V-Spot is aiming to be a vegan sports bar with a loyal fan focus on the Buffalo Bills. Go Bills! The current location is alcohol-free, but they have plans to open a space in the future that will serve adult beverages. And they have TV screens up so you can watch the games. And I am there, a vegan Bills bar. This is like stuff of my dreams. I don't know if Sam will be too thrilled, but if I say, let's go to V-Spot and watch the game, Sam will be like, well, at least I can get some good food.
Well, yes, absolutely. Because, Buffalo V-Spot is owned and run by our friend Natina, and she is phenomenal. Her food is amazing.
Oh,
and
yeah.
We absolutely adore her. So, yeah, I'm all kinds of into this, even though I am not a devoted Bills fan. But it's nothing against the Bills. It's just I'm not a football fan.
She's not a football fan.
No.
Yeah. Chef Natina has been a vegan powerhouse in the Buffalo area for many, many years. She's done tons and tons of pop-ups. She does a food prep service, and now she's trying her hand at a brick and mortar restaurant. And we wish her all the success in the world.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
And we were actually hoping to make it to Buffalo's V-Spot yesterday.
Yeah, it didn't happen.
Didn't happen, unfortunately, but it is really high up on our radar,
It
and
is.
we will be getting there in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to take a look at their menu?
Of course I do.
I sent you a couple of PDFs of their menu. So under appetizers, they have Hot Pockets. That's right. Hot Pockets. Cheese pizza Hot Pockets.
I have to admit, I really enjoyed Hot Pockets as a
Did you?
kid. Yes. It's kind of shameful, and even when I was in graduate school and stuff like that, I would keep a small stash of Hot Pockets in the freezer just in case, like I had a really late night.
Well, they're quick. You can throw them in
They're
the microwave.
quick, throw them in the microwave.
have
They're warm.
no
They're
nutritional
tasty.
value.
Oh no! Oh God, no!
No, but
heavens, no.
Yeah, I think that we were all kind of brainwashed into buying. I didn't buy Hot Pockets, but you probably were brainwashed by the ads that they showed constantly where they said, Hot Pockets.
No, it had nothing to do with the ad. Okay.
Pocket.
It has to do with, number one, that I like anything in the realm of like a dumpling or a calzone or
Right.
anything that's stuffed.
Yeah.
So you're giving me
Stuffed
bread stuffed with things.
Stuffed
okay.
food.
I'm happy about that already. And they had a couple of flavors that were really good.
Yeah.
So
But we're digressing.
we are.
These are vegan Hot Pockets, people. Vegan Hot Pockets. You can also get fresh cut fries. Fresh cut. Onion rings. Come on, I love a good onion ring. Cheese steak egg rolls.
Yeah, I'm all
What?
about that.
I want one of those.
Yeah, that's going to be a must-have.
Yeah.
When we get up there,
Yeah.
are the cheesesteak egg rolls.
Turkey,
Gotta try that.
Turkey club salad.
Yeah.
Ooh. Texas caviar, which sometimes is also called cowboy caviar, which it's corn, peppers, onions, and beans, and then you get chips and you use it like a dip. It's really
So
good.
good.
Really good. And Scooby Snacks, which is a sampler platter. You get Hot Pockets, fries, onion rings, cheesesteak rolls, tofu chicken. Oh my God.
That sounds awesome.
That sounds like a veritable extravaganza of appetizers.
It does, but it looks to me like that's going to be something if you've got a larger group.
Yeah.
But that's really great.
That's nice that you can just order one thing
and share.
and get it all.
Yeah.
They, of course, have pizzas. You can get pizza by the slice.
Nice.
You can get a cheese pizza, cheese and pepperoni. And mind you, that most of their proteins are house made.
Yep.
They have veggie lovers because we love veggies.
Yeah, we do.
They have a Supreme, which comes with vegan cheese, bell peppers, onions, sausage. I like how she spelled sausage.
With
SAWSAGE, which reminds me of a reel that Andy from Compassion Code just did about how restaurants spell, how
they
vegan restaurants spell things.
Yeah.
It was really funny. What else? Oh, steak pizza, which is an olive oil base with a seitan impossible blend.
Nice.
Vegan mozzarella, peppers, onions, garlic, and mushrooms, and a pesto
I would
pizza.
I have to say I would probably really like that steak pizza.
Yeah. They have subs, and we know her subs are
Phenomenal.
really good.
Yes.
They have a vegan turkey sub, a turkey ham, HAYUM, a turkey ham sub, an Italian sausage sub, a meatball sub, a chicken souvlaki sub. Okay. Mm-hmm. That's where I would probably stop. Mm-hmm. And a crunchy country. Oh, it's like a cheeseburger sub. Ooh. It's kind of like a smash burger turned into a sub, overloaded with homemade onion rings.
Oh, that sounds ridiculous.
Oh, vegan bacon,
Okay, that's
barbecued mayo, barbecue sauce on a toasted bun.
yeah, that sounds ridiculous.
Wow, that sounds really good.
Natina, you're outdoing yourself with this. Seriously,
I'm hungry. We really shouldn't be reading this.
Yeah, that's right. We haven't had dinner yet.
They also do wings and tacos, both with Z's. Tofu seitan wings or tacos. And then they have chicken tacos, gluten-free chicken souvlaki tacos, and you can get extra condiments with all of that stuff. That's great. There is another menu that I think Sam is unable to open for some reason, and that is drinks and desserts. Oh, they have a special menu on Sundays, which is interesting, but it makes sense because they're going to be like a sports theme.
Yep.
So we're talking like during the game kind of thing. They have special stuff on the menu for Sundays. They have a loaded breakfast pizza on Sundays,
Yep.
which sounds good. They have sodas and lavender tea and Fiji water, Red Bull, and non-alcoholic beers.
Yep.
Non-alcoholic wines. For desserts, you can get ice cream sandwiches.
And they have an apple cobbler pocket.
There you go. Why can't I say apple? Apple cobbler pocket. Cookies.
Cookies are good. I like cookies.
And then they have a little section here that's just gluten-free at a glance, which is nice. So you don't have to scour the menu for what things are automatically gluten-free. Their tofu chicken wings, their tacos, their chicken tacos, their chicken souvlaki, and their breakfast burritos are all available as gluten-free, which is awesome.
It's awesome.
Yeah. Then they have specials, which they're going to do like subs of the month and combo meals. I'm really looking forward to checking this out.
Me too.
And I want a chicken souvlaki sub.
Okay.
Like now.
And we're going to have the cheesesteak egg rolls.
Yeah, cheesesteak egg rolls.
Yep, for sure.
Sounds good. So we're hoping, maybe not by next week's episode because I'm house sitting for my sister later this week, but by the following week's episode, we will be reporting back on what we got and how it was, and I'm sure it'll all be delicious.
Yep,
really,
I sure hope so.
I really want to get there, and it really sounds so good. I really shouldn't look at those menus when I'm hungry.
Well, yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, if you've been to Buffalo V-Spot and you've taken a picture of your food, please send us an email with that picture. Tell us what you got. Tell us what you thought about it, and we'll enter you into our dinner winner contest.
Sure will.
It's no longer monthly because we just don't get enough entries.
Yeah.
You people apparently just eat your food too fast and you don't take pictures, which happens to me all the time.
Yeah,
I'm like,
true.
oh, I should have taken a picture of this, but I ate it. So we'll even accept pictures of empty plates at Buffalo V-Spot.
Yes, we will. We will.
Just let us know what you had.
Yeah, empty plates and like maybe a shot of the interior so we know you were there.
Yeah, a shot of the interior so we know you were there. Yeah. Yeah, so we wish them all the best.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can't wait to get there. Buffalo V-Spot in North Tonawanda in the Vegan Center. It's time for our favorite portion of the show.
Must be listener shout out time.
It's listener shout out.
Just want to give a shout out to all my fans watching. I love you guys. I love you.
This week's listener shout out goes to Nintendad.
Yeah, I'm not sure that that's their given name, but
I'm thinking not, but you never know. Anyway, Nintendad is a new YouTube subscriber.
Yeah, thanks for subscribing and listening to the show, Nintendad. Please send us your t-shirt size and address so we can send you a Compassion and Cucumbers swag bag. You can either text us using the link in our show notes, you can email us at compassionandcucumbers@gmail.com, or DM us on Instagram or Facebook. Include your real name, Nintendad, unless that is your real name, in which case you have the coolest name ever.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah.
And for the rest of you out there, if you want a listener shout out, please text, email, or DM us. Let us know what you think of the show and tell us a little bit about yourself. You can also always nominate someone else for a shout out.
Yeah, and if you want, you can tell us a lot about yourself.
Yeah.
You know, I don't mind. I love getting emails from our listeners.
It's true.
You want to send me a 3-page email telling me your life story? Bring it on.
You are there for it.
I am. I'm there for it. I guess I'll just wrap this baby up now. But before we go, I always like to remind you to subscribe to our show on your favorite podcast app. Subscribe to our YouTube like Nintendad. Share the show with a friend or a family member so that we can reach more great people just like you. If you want to get news about the show, you can do that by subscribing to our weekly newsletter, and you can do that by entering your email in at our website, which is compassionandcucumbers.com. Once a week, I send an email out just to let you know what's going on with the show. And, now that we're into some VegFest stuff, we'll probably be sending you some information as to where you can find us and stuff like that.
And with that, it's time to sign off. You have just listened to episode 193 of the Compassion and Cucumbers podcast, and there's nothing left to say but where cukes and compassion are always the fashion.
On the podcast. Thanks, James.
Have a great week, everyone.
We'll talk to you next Tuesday.
We love you.
We do. Take impeccable care of yourself.
Indeed.
Bye-bye.
The end.
If you'd like to support the Compassion and Cucumbers podcast, well, you can do that by hopping on over to our Patreon page and becoming a patron. We have all the recipes from our vegan kitchen series up there, and we'll be adding some patron-only episodes in the near future. So thank you for supporting us at whatever level that you choose, and thank you again for listening to Compassion and Cucumbers podcast.